Hey guys, it's Joe, and it's time for a Pocket with Joe. It is a Friday, February 17th. We got 5 games on the board today. Now, we had some interesting ones yesterday, some nice wins there. Calgary just really letting us down again. I tell you guys, I don't know what to do with the Calgary Flames as of late, but let's get to today's slate. I think it's going to be a good one here. Want to say hi to Oyen here, Johnny and Matt. You guys, thank you for jumping in so quick today. You guys must have your subscription buttons on. For everyone who doesn't, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. It does me a nice favor. Rick, shout out to you as well. Okay, let's get to the 5 games on the board. I think there is opportunity to make some money today. We got a really ugly dog in the Chicago Blackhawks, you guys. And I'm going to caution you with this one. We've ridden Chicago plus the points a couple of times. They haven't been able to get it done. Gotta love the Rangers today. We will get to that. Let's make some freaking money. No one is ever going to bet on the Flames again. If the Flames are playing, just stay off the Calgary Flames. That is my best advice for you. We got Dan Vladar, though, under his save shot. Or, sorry, it wasn't Vladar. We didn't take Vladar. Yes, we did. We took Dan Vladar's save shots on goal under 22.5. That cashed nicely. He let in a lot of goals in that one. I expected Calgary to stop, get those block shots on goal. So taking the goalie props under might be a good way to look at Calgary. It's really interesting. And the Jets. I know. There's some of these teams, I tell you, they really got to get things on track. But let's go over these 5 games today, you guys. Let me know what you did cash on yesterday. I love to hear your guys' wins today. I think we got a good opportunity on this beautiful Friday evening to make some money. Now, the Chicago Blackhawks, plus 202 here. Huge underdog against the Ottawa Senators. Now, Ottawa has won their last 2 games. They're off a shootout win, 3-2 over the Islanders. This team has been playing really solid despite their goaltending issues. Now, Madden Sogard is expected in goal again. The last time he played, it was versus Calgary. Now, in that game, he did phenomenal. He stood on his head. He only allowed 3 goals out of 37 shots on goal by the Calgary Flames. So, Sogard here coming up from the AHL, playing phenomenal. Now, Peter Maret's coming in for the Chicago Blackhawks. We know Peter Maret's not the strongest goalie. That's kind of an understatement. He's got a 4.0 goals against average. But when we look at the Chicago Blackhawks here, how they have done versus the Ottawa Senators, this kind of is a game. We've got an ugly dog. They're 5-0 in their last 5 meetings in Ottawa. But that being said, their last one was last season, and I believe it was March. It was 6-3. So you got to have faith that Ottawa just does not play well against the Blackhawks. If you like them plus 1.5, you can get this at minus 115. I don't think I'm brave enough to sprinkle on that money line, but I would love to, because you guys know I love that plus money with the dogs, especially a dog that's been on a losing streak. Except they've been on a losing streak. This is their 4th game on the road. They've lost their last 3 games on the road. Last game on the road, this team is just looking to get home. So I caution you with this game. We got an ugly dog in the Chicago Blackhawks. This all depends on how Ottawa comes out in this one. Matt Sogard, does he play as strong as we saw him in that first game versus the Calgary Flames? That's another question as well. So if you think the Chicago Blackhawks can come out stronger in this one, you got to roll with Chicago plus the 1.5. Now, I think this one is, I'm leaning to the Senators team total. We know they can get the goals. Looking at their team total over 3.5, is minus 125. We know Peter Moretz lets these goals in, like I said, 4.0 goals against average. The defense of the Chicago Blackhawks also allowing that 3.64. So I do see, even if Chicago somehow pulls up this crazy upset, which we got to remember, it's Chicago. They are not playing well. The Ottawa Senators are the stronger team here. I think we can count on 4 goals out of the Ottawa Senators. Peter Moretz just giving up those goals, the defense giving up those goals as well. I don't see Peter Moretz all of a sudden standing on his head in this game. So give me the Ottawa Senators team total over 3.5. That's at minus 125. I trust this team more. That's what it comes down to. Now, I do lean for the over for the full game. But leaning to the over for the full game, I have to have a little bit of faith in the Chicago Blackhawks to get us a couple goals here. I do think Ottawa comes in and gets 4. That means I'm relying on 3 out of the Chicago Blackhawks. So I probably will not touch that one at all. I'm seeing what you guys are writing here. Just going to look at your comments before we move on. Courtney, thank you so much. Happy Friday to you too. Anthony, you're right. Who doesn't love? Let's make some freaking money. It is a beautiful day to make some freaking money. Benji, the Sens in the first period. This is a really interesting way to go with this. At that plus money, how can you say no? You're getting the better team. Plus money in that first period. And that's something, you guys, when you're looking at these big favorites at minus 250, getting them in that first period at plus 110 definitely is value there. I think this is going to be a high scoring one. So I do expect for the Ottawa Senators, so I do expect them to go up in that first period. So Benji, I like where you're going with that one. You cashed it too, Teamer. I absolutely love it. The Bruins minus 1.5 and the Panthers minus 1.5. Nice faith in the Panthers last night. Lots of people didn't have faith in the Panthers last night. So great one there for sure. Johnny leaning to the under with this game between the Ottawa Senators and the Chicago Blackhawks. And I kind of agree with this under. If Chicago doesn't put up 3 goals, we don't go over this total. So this is going to be an interesting game to see how Chicago comes out in this one. And Johnny liking the Ottawa Senators here on the puck line or the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, Chicago is only 9-15 on the road on that puck line, 15-13 for the Ottawa Senators. And yes, don't forget that. They do seem to have Ottawa's number, but you're right. They're 8-23 in their last 31 versus Eastern Conference. So they do show their struggles. Every dog has to have their day, though. It'll be interesting to see if today Chicago is that ugly barking dog. I think they're an ugly dog today. I'm not sure if I'm going to pull the trigger with that one for sure. Johnny taking the Sens on the puck line, 15-13 on the puck line at home this season. So nice way to go. Rick giving a shot on that money line and Sens in regulation for Johnny. You guys, it's going to be quite the game here. Let's look at the next one, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders. Now, Islanders have been so inconsistent. They've been absolutely driving me crazy. They got that spark with the All-Star game right around there before and after. They came out so strong. Bo Horvat joining their team. It looked like this team was going to go rolling hot. They've lost their last 3 games. The last game versus the Ottawa Senators, that was a shootout loss of 3-2. Now the Pittsburgh Penguins roll in here with Casey DeSmith expected in goal. He's got a 3.21 goals against average. This team is finally getting the goals on the board. They're now averaging over 3 goals at 3.23 and 33.2 shots on goal. But they're allowing these goals to come in as well. They're allowing 3.08 and 34 shots on goal. Now, they won their last game 3-1 versus the San Jose Sharks. We can't really celebrate that. That's a win over the San Jose Sharks. This is their last game of a road trip here. It's a 3-game road trip. My concern with the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight is who they have on deck tomorrow. Now, this is already a battle of the Metro, and I know the Pittsburgh Penguins want to get the win. They're sitting 4th in the Metro. We got the Islanders sitting 6th in the Metro. The Pittsburgh Penguins have the New Jersey Devils on deck tomorrow, who are 2nd in the Metro. Now, while I do think this game means a lot, I could see this one being them remembering who they have to face tomorrow. Now, the Penguins have struggled in New York. They've only won 1 of their last 5 meetings in New York, and the Islanders dominated this matchup back in December. They got a 5-1 win here. Now, the Islanders have won their last 7 home games against the Penguins after coming off an overtime game, which is really interesting to see those kind of trends. So that does point me to the Islanders here. Now, with the Islanders being at home with Sorokin expected, they're averaging that 2.88 goals per game. This team really needs to start scoring. Their defense is allowing that 2.7, allowing 31.7 shots on goal. This team needs to step up offensively. 2.88 isn't going to get games done. So I'm looking for the Islanders to come out with a little bit more offensive power here. Now, we've seen games that they have blown these under totals on their own, having big, phenomenal games like this last one versus the Penguins. I'm sure that total was 5.5. They got the 5 goals. The Penguins got the 1 and it pushed us over that total. I'm going to stay off the total today. I can really see this one going over that total, but I'm not going to touch it because if these teams play strong defensive ones, Sorokin and Casey DeSmith, we could see that under. So coin toss on the total for me here. But I do think with the Islanders being at home, the Penguins going 2-5 in the last 7 meetings versus the Islanders, this Islanders team has to get things right. I think the Penguins are in a hard back-to-back, first night of that back-to-back. So I'm going to ride the Islanders here. Just looking what you guys are liking, you got to love the Islanders in that first period at plus 190. That must be on the puck line, Benji. Let me know if it's not. That is crazy odds because it's minus 111 for the game here. And Rick, yes, the Islanders on those couple of days rest are 0-5 in their last 5 home games. This team is completely inconsistent. They are struggling. The Pens have been doing better on the road. They might just want to go home. That's where I'm kind of feeling. I really do feel with the New Jersey Devils, if they didn't have the Devils on deck tomorrow, you guys, I would be on the Penguins today. This Islanders team is like the Calgary Flames for me. They are just letting me down left, right, and center this season. So the Pens in the first period, minus 140 here for Johnny. This game is going to be crazy. Pens team total over 3 is minus 155. That definitely is somewhere you could put in the parlay. Anthony liking the Penguins here and the Senators in the other game, Sens in regulation. So you guys, the Islanders minus 1.5. Whoa, that is a lot of faith in this Islanders team for them to come out and win this by 2 goals. You're going to get incredible plus money if you have faith. I wish you all the best with this bet. Ojan here. I just can't get on the Islanders on that puck line. Benji, the puck line at plus 190 for the Islanders in that first period at minus 0.5 at plus 190. That definitely screams a value there. Happy Friday to you, Kev, as well. We got 3 more games to go over on the board today. And the Isles plus 190 first period puck line. Yeah, definitely a money maker. If you think the Islanders can come out, score one quick on Casey DeSmith, I don't hate it. Like I said, the Penguins got the win in their last game, but it was over the San Jose Sharks. This is a Sharks team that never gives up, but it was only a 3-1 win. The Islanders might struggle with them is their lack of offensive production. So for them to win in that first period, they got to come out skating hard and fast. I do think they could get it at that value, guys, getting plus 190. For the home team there in that first period, I could see it happening tonight. So I wish you guys all the best with that one. The Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild kick off at 8 o'clock Eastern. Now we got a low total of 5.5, and I am liking this one under. And oh my God, if these 2 teams fly over today, I am going to lose my mind. We have Jake Ottinger expected in goal for the Dallas Stars. He's got a 2.23 goals against average. And we look at this team, their defense is playing absolutely phenomenal. Now they're allowing these shots on goal to come in at 31.5, but it's not terrible. And they're only allowing that 2.55 goals per game. They lost their last game to the Bruins in OT on Tuesday. We had a 3-2 game in that one versus the Boston Bruins. And I really do expect this one to go very similar. Now, they're on their first night of a back-to-back, but they play the Columbus Blue Jackets tomorrow, so I'm not concerned in this team having a look ahead to the Columbus Blue Jackets over the Minnesota Wild. This is a battle of the Central. The Dallas Stars sitting first in the Central, the Minnesota Wild sitting fourth. Now, this Wild team is in a little bit of a crap list with me. They lost that game to the Colorado Avalanche. And again, Marc-Andre Fleury should have played a stronger game in that one. When we look at the Wild here, Gustafsson is expected in goal. He's got a 2.18 goals against average. And, I was riding with Marc-Andre Fleury being the better goalie of these two. Gustafsson definitely has been looking as of late to be the better goalie. Now, this team defensively really has been standing up as well, only allowing 2.85 goals per game and 30.2 shots on goal. They've lost their last two. They should have won that versus the Colorado Avalanche. I was so disappointed in this team. They have the Predators on deck, but not till Sunday. And this team is just completely struggling to score. So give me that under 5.5. Unless the Dallas Stars decide to get 5 goals in this one, or even 4. I don't see this going over that total. I do think this is another 3-2 style game. So we're going to be so tight to that under 5.5. It's going to be scary. If I had to take a side, I just trust in what we've seen out of the Dallas Stars more as of late. I don't really have much faith in this Minnesota Wild team after what we've seen. Now, the Stars have struggled on a couple days rest. The road team has had the advantage between these two, going 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. The Wild, 2-5 in their last 7 versus teams with winning records. We're seeing struggles out of this Wild team. The last time these teams played was just February 8th. So it was 9 days ago. The Dallas Stars won it 4-1. So we could see a very similar game to that. That still stays under that total. The Wild should want sudden revenge here, but offensively, can they get the goals on Ottinger? And that is my biggest question mark here. I have to take the best bet, the under 5.5, and I lean on the Dallas Stars here. I just trust this team more. Johnny feeling the Wild tonight. The under 6.5 in a parlay. I don't mind that. By the under, I don't mind it at all. Buying up and throwing that into a parlay for sure. Exact score. I don't mind that exact score. I have a 3-2 there. I would have to look and find that. We'll look and find that at the end of the show. Remind me, Anthony, to look at that exact score. Okay, the next game on the board, the New York Rangers are taking on the Edmonton. I'll just call them Edmonton. Edmonton has been struggling and lost their last 2 games. They lost the last one Wednesday in a shootout loss to the Red Wings, a game that they should have won. The Red Wings gave it all they had, and Edmonton lost another. They're now sitting 4th in the Pacific. As a Calgary Flames fan, no matter how bad my team sucks, I love seeing Edmonton suck too. This is a team that we can see them go up and down on any given night. They always stay in the fight though, and this is going to be quite the fight tonight with the New York Rangers. This Rangers team, adding Tarasenko, is playing absolutely phenomenal. They're sitting 3rd in the Metro right now. They've won their last 6 games. They got the win over the Vancouver Canucks 6-4. They have Calgary on deck tomorrow. So right now, Igor Shesterkin is expected in goal. I am seeing books give his save shots out on save shots on goal out as well. So I really do think we will see Igor Shesterkin unless there is a very late minute goalie change here in this one. With Igor in, I lean on the Rangers in this one. This team just rolling so hot at the moment. Edmonton needs this win, but Edmonton needing a win has never paid off for us. This Edmonton team, I tell you, they are so inconsistent. They need, before this trade deadline, to really do something on their defensive end. Now, everyone puts all the blame on the goaltending, but you got to look at this, and when the consistent is always the defense, and we've changed goaltenders how many times for this Edmonton Oilers team? Mike Smith had a hard time. Jack Campbell, who was a better goalie before coming to Edmonton, has a hard time, and Skinner has a hard time. It's always the goalie's problem. Per Edmonton, it's not the goalie's problem. The goalie just gets blamed. This defense just isn't giving their goaltending enough support. I really do think a huge change needs to come in Edmonton to make them a more complete team. Yes, offensively, this team is absolutely lights out offensively. We've got Connor McDavid on here. I'm seeing Connor McDavid shots over 3.5 at minus 193. And I don't hate that at all, Joe. I like Connor McDavid for the anytime goal. It's coming in at minus 110. We know after losing the last two, we are going to see Connor McDavid come out and try to put the weight of this team on his back. The offensive production of this team is lights out. They're absolutely phenomenal. The defense, and as a result, the goaltending is struggling. We need to see this offensive powerhouse of a team step up and get those back checks on the defensive side. They need to play both ways of the puck. They just don't have the support in the true defenseman on this team. So we need to see Connor McDavid getting down there and really making an impact on his zone. So this is going to be an interesting one, you guys. I think the Rangers adding Tarasenko are by far the better team here. I got them at plus 100. There's no way I can turn them down, especially if Igor Shesterkin is in goal. Now, Calgary on deck tomorrow. This is game 3 of a 4-game road trip here. I think in this one, Igor, his save shots on goal are coming in at 29.5. I would take that over. We know Edmonton is going to come out. Their whole way of winning games is by getting that puck on the net. So they're going to be flying. They're going to be trying to play a really strong offensive game. I think Igor saves, no matter if the Rangers win or not, he saves over 29.5. I think this is a game where we're going to see the Edmonton Oilers put up at least 35 shots on goal. Igor, we know he's good for saving at least 30 of those, well, even 33 of those 35. Igor Shesterkin is an absolutely incredible goalie. So I do think this is one where we can take Igor over 29.5. I expect Edmonton to get these shots. The Rangers do a solid job at limiting opponents' ability to get these shots on goal, but we have seen the Rangers struggle a little bit in Edmonton, only winning one of the last 7 meetings versus the Edmonton Oilers. Adam Fox, I think, is good for a point for the New York Rangers tonight. We're getting him for that point. It's juicy, though, at minus 142. I think Tarasenko for the point as well. He rolls on a top line here, coming in for that point at minus 108. I could see him getting an assist or a goal in there. So I do like him for that point. And then, of course, Connor McDavid. Now, looking at this one, that first period, and I find when we have top goalies like Igor Shesterkin, we can see these first periods really be where the goalie lets that one slip. So that first period over 1.5 is so highly juiced at minus 182. I can't touch it. But if we can take both teams to score in the first period, which I could see Edmonton and the Rangers scoring fast, that's plus 124. And you guys know I absolutely love that plus money. Now, looking at these team totals is really interesting. With this total now at 7, both teams have a team total of 3.5. The Oilers coming in here over the 3.5 at minus 104. The Rangers coming in over the 3.5. We're getting plus money at plus 120 there. So the book's expecting Edmonton to come in here and get the 4 goals, not really expecting the New York Rangers. We're not really juiced at minus 104 to Edmonton for that over, but to get plus money on the Rangers is really interesting in this one. I expected both of these teams to be closer with that over to slight juice on both of them. These teams do trend to that over. I'm just not sure if I'm willing to hit it. Overtime in the Rangers game, I do like that. I could see this being 3-3 apiece and us pushing on that 7 with that last goal coming in. So this one, I think, you guys, I lean on the Rangers to get the win. The Calgary Flames evil fan in me wants Edmonton to beat Edmonton and lose again. But at plus 100, I can't turn down the Rangers in this game. They're just playing so strong. They're 17-8 on the road on that puck line, 16-5, 3-1 straight up. We look at Edmonton, they're 13-11, 2-2 at home this season. This team has been, again, so inconsistent. The lack of defense, I just can't get behind them, especially with Igor Shesterkin in goal tonight for the New York Rangers. Rangers are rolling way too hot. So give me Tarasenko for a point. Give me Adam Fox for a point. You got to take Connor McDavid for that anytime goal at minus 110 as well. The last game on the board, I love this game. We have the LA Kings taking on the Anaheim Ducks. It wasn't even a question in my mind as soon as I looked at this matchup. It's the Kings on the puck line at -1.5 at -110 or nothing in this game for me. I love what we've been seeing out of the LA Kings. They're sitting third in the Pacific. This team is fighting to stay in the mix with the Kraken and the Vegas Golden Knights. They want to silently take over the Pacific here. And that's what this team has been doing, just climbing the ladder. Copley is expected in goal tonight. I absolutely love what we've seen out of him. He's got a 2.74 goals against average. Now, they've won their last 2 games. They're facing the Anaheim Ducks, who we know this team is completely struggling defensively, goaltending-wise. John Gibson expected in goal for them tonight. He's got a 4.04 goals against average. This team isn't getting the goals. At least when we talk about Edmonton, their defense sucks, but their offense is getting goals. Anaheim Ducks, not the same story. They're only averaging 2.45 goals per game, 29.6 shots on goal. They're allowing opponents to have 39.2 shots on their goaltending. John Gibson, talk about not giving your goaltender any support. And they're allowing overall defensively that 4.13 goals per game. So it's the LA Kings laying 1.5 here at -110. We also look at the Kings. They have played so phenomenally strong in Anaheim against Anaheim. No trends pointing me off of the LA Kings tonight. They're 4-1 in their last 5 meetings. In Anaheim, they're 4-0 in their last 4 meetings. And versus the Pacific, they've been so phenomenally strong. They've won their last 7 games versus the Pacific. They're also 4-0. The favorite has also gone 4-0 in the last 4 meetings, which has been the Kings. Kings in regulation, I don't hate that either. You're going to not pay much juice on the Kings in regulation. So it definitely should be a great one. Kings, hammer them. I'm with you, Michael. I think the Kings is the play of the day. I really do think they come out strong. This will be one of my bigger bets of the day is the Kings are in regulation. The New York Rangers, you're going to drop that money, Rick, on the New York Rangers on the puck line. How can you not love the 17-8 puck line record on the road for the New York Rangers? They are even better adding Tarasenko from the St. Louis Blues. Now we look at Tarasenko when he was with the St. Louis Blues versus the Edmonton Oilers. He was phenomenally strong in that game. I think he had a goal and an assist. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think Tarasenko plays very strongly against the Edmonton Oilers. And yes, that was when he was with the Blues, different lines and everything. But I do think with the Rangers, you'll see Tarasenko have a nice big night tonight. I wish you the best with that puck line. Rick, I don't know. You might have pushed me over the edge. It might be the Rangers on the puck line for me in that one, too. Give you a huge shout out if I win that one. Rick, puck line, Rangers. That's beautiful. Plus money there. You definitely can take for the assist at +115. I do like that as well. Let's get to the recap. We're going to make some money. Definitely so much money to be made on the board. And we need to make the money tonight because we have games tomorrow. We have action on Sunday. NASCAR is starting. I don't know if you guys like motorsports. The All-Star break happening in the NBA. And a big shout out to Michael Jordan before I forget. MJ, 60 years old today. Hard to believe. I think he's the GOAT of all time. Let me know who's the GOAT in basketball for you guys. Who doesn't love Michael Jordan? I tell you, teenagers still buying his shoes, aren't they? I don't know. My kids like Michael Jordan's, that's for sure. Okay, let's do the recap. Let's build a parlay and let's make some freaking money today, you guys. Chicago Blackhawks and the Ottawa Senators. Like I said, ugly dog in the Chicago Blackhawks. They have owned the Senators. If you trust in the Chicago Blackhawks, sprinkling on the money line, great plus money. I don't know if I can get there. I'm debating taking them plus the 1.5. One thing I do like is the Ottawa Senators team total over 3.5. I think no matter what, we see Ottawa getting these goals. So give me the Sens team total over 3.5 for the parlay. I definitely think they come in nicely. You guys threw out the first period on the puck line for the Sens at plus 190. Again, if that hits you guys, a thank you, because I'm going to tail that. That's one thing I just didn't look into taking them. I cannot turn down on that puck line at plus 190. There is no way. I have the Ottawa Senators. Best of luck to you guys. Or no, that's the Islanders. The Ottawa Senators, it wasn't plus 190. Let me know what that was, but I do think it's a good way to go with the Sens in the first period. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders, again, that first period on the puck line at plus 190 for the Islanders is absolutely gold. I love it. I'm going to lean on the Islanders, and I'm going to throw the Islanders on the money line in this parlay. I think they have the opportunity to pull this win off. Like I said, it's more of a scheduling spot for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yes, this is a battle of the Metro, but with the Devils on deck, I can see them getting up maybe, and then the Islanders just really coming back in this one. Now, we've seen that weird trends with the Islanders coming off of overtime, winning their last 7 then at home versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. Such a weird trend here. I could see it coming into play. Casey DeSmith and Sorokin. Which goalie do I trust more? I trust Sorokin. The inconsistencies of the Islanders makes this one very hard to bet, but I do think we see the Islanders get the win. And I don't love this total because this Islanders team, while they're struggling to score, has had their ups and downs where they've made games go over because they all of a sudden decide they know how to find the back of a net. The next game on the board, we've got the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. This screams under all day, and take the Dallas Stars and the Wild under. Actually, I'm going to buy that up to 6 for the parlay. We got a 5.5, buy it up to 6. And take it under. Don't do the 5.5 in the parlay. Straight up bet, I do like the 5.5. It's a little risky here. The way it goes over is Dallas opening up on Gustafsson here. I don't expect them to. I expect a defensive game in this matchup, but let's just be a little bit safer in the parlay. I lean on Dallas to get the win. Don't absolutely love it. Jake Ottinger, save shots on goal, something I didn't bring up before, is coming in at 28.5 save shots on goal at minus 122 to the over. I do think we can see the Minnesota Wild putting up these shots on goal. We see the goals allowed, or the shots on goal allowed by the Dallas Stars. So I do expect this one for Jake Ottinger to go over 28.5 save shots on goal. That is my second favorite player prop of the day. The goalie prop, I do like Igor Shesterkin of the New York Rangers as well for his over on his save shots. Those two goalie props being my favorite goalies to back today on the board. Now, the next game on the board, we have the New York Rangers and the Edmonton Oilers. Again, I do think I can't step in front of this Rangers team for an inconsistent lack of defensive Edmonton team. Yes, offensively, this team is phenomenal. They are lights out. It's the Rangers or nothing in this one for me. I'm going to leave this one out of the parlay because I do think, and while I agree with you guys, I am going to take the Rangers separately. And I am going to sprinkle on that puck line. Thanks to Rick for throwing out that number. I think that we can see a complete battle. This could come down to a little bit of puck luck. So leaving it out of the parlay, Tarasenko, I'm going to take him for a point for the New York Rangers tonight, an anytime point coming in at minus 108. I do like Adam Fox for the point as well tonight for the New York Rangers. That one juicier at minus 142. Like I said, Igor Shesterkin, save shots on goal over 29.5. I love as well. I think him and Jake Ottinger have a phenomenal night. Now, unless there's a last minute goalie change, I am seeing Igor in, and that's why I'm liking the Rangers more and more as I talk about it here. Now, we know on the other side of the puck, we can look at the usual suspects for that anytime goal. I think it's Connor McDavid tonight at minus 110. I think he comes in, and we're not paying too much juice on a Connor McDavid for that anytime goal. Now, that first period, like I said, I like the over 1.5, but grossly juiced at minus 182. And actually, that's what I'll throw in the parlay. I'm going to throw the Rangers and the Oilers over 1.5 in that first period at minus 182. Don't bet that straight out. That's too juiced. If you think both teams can score in that first period, it's coming in at plus 124. And I love that. The last game on the board, we have the LA Kings taking on the Anaheim Ducks. My favorite game of the night. This is my best bet, the LA Kings minus 1.5 on that puck line. Look for a big win out of the LA Kings tonight. I'm going to bet that separately in the parlay. We'll just throw the LA Kings on the money line just to be safe there. But I really do think with Copley in goal, we should have a great game out of the LA Kings. So just to recap that long shot parlay, we've got the Sens team total over 3.5, the Islanders on the money line, the Dallas Stars, and the Minnesota Wild. We're going to buy that up to 6 and hit it under. The Rangers and the Oilers, we're going to hit that first period over 1.5 at minus 182 within the parlay, and the LA Kings on the money line. I think it should be a good night. Again, you guys, my favorite bets of the night, just because you guys join me here every day. I got to take the LA Kings on that puck line at minus 1.5. I think they have an outstanding win tonight. I could see this even being a game where we don't see the Ducks scoring in this one. We might get the shutout. So something that I have been toying with betting for Copley to get a shutout tonight. I think betting the goalie props of Igor Shesterkin and Jake Ottinger to those overs, as I see the shots coming in, is a phenomenal way. And then again, I'm high on Tarasenko tonight. I'm high on Adam Fox, and I have to be a little bit high on Connor McDavid. So I sound high saying that, but you know what I mean, you guys. I want to wish you all the best tonight. I love Tarasenko over 2.5 shots on goal as well, Joel. I think that is a great way. Let's make some freaking money. You guys coming in. I love that you're riding the Kings with me on that puck line. Anytime goal for Tarasenko, yeah, at plus 220. We can see it coming in. He plays on a top line. Tarasenko has been absolutely lights out. Like I said, when he was with the Blues, I'm pretty sure we saw a goal and an assist out of him in that last matchup versus the Edmonton Oilers. So I do expect a nice one here. Wild only had 20 shots against the Avs. Yeah, but the Colorado Avalanche are a lot better at getting these block shots on goal. I really do think the Wild came out just sloppy and poor in that last game versus Colorado. We saw a Colorado team that was in terrible scheduling spots, and the Wild still couldn't beat them. I do think that they do a better night of getting those save shots tonight, or getting more shots on goal tonight. You guys know what I mean. But I want to thank you so very much, each and every one of you, for joining me. Good luck to you and all the best. Let's make some freaking money tonight. Again, it's Michael Jordan's birthday, the GOAT of all GOATs of the basketball world. He will always be the GOAT to me. Drop below who is the GOAT in basketball for you. Who's the GOAT on the ice for you? If you say Connor McDavid, friends are off. Just joking. Connor McDavid. Damn, I wish he played for Calgary. You guys, let's make some freaking money. You guys crack me up. I love joining you here each and every day. It is Friday, which means happy Friday. Join me tonight on Sports Grid. I will be live on Sports Grid from 9 o'clock Eastern to midnight Eastern. It will be a lot of fun with Dubs Anderson. Great guests coming on as well. So don't miss it, you guys. Have a good one. Keep smiling. Let's make some freaking money.